Hey everybody, there's news in town about a guy named Butcher Pete. His primary characteristic is that he forgets which quests he was on. Ryuku Shogi in Okinawa. The guy at the park. And then Murder at Cafe Alps. That is really it, huh? We're like there-ish. This might be the final episode. A trilogy of epilogue episodes. Oh my god. What do you do? The way the stone diffuses light makes it seem kind of mystical. Maybe I can use it for something. Right. It's probably another weapon upgrade item. So it goes. The way this game structures its story is kind of weird, but I guess we're used to that by now. It's been hundreds of episodes of Yakuza games, and they're all incredibly strangely structured with how they organize their main story, which seems urgent, versus their side content, which is numerous. And this game kind of took that to its biggest extreme ever by having the fact that the game is split between Kamurocho and Okinawa, while having not that long of a narrative, because none of the early Yakuza games have that long of a narrative. And on top of that, they had quests that were based around what time of day it was, and whether you were in Okinawa or Kamurocho. And on top of that, they make it so you're only at Okinawa and Kamurocho at certain times of day each time you go there during the story, because it's what fits with the story. And on top of that, they went with some sub-stories that change location, where you meet somebody in Okinawa or Kamurocho and they go to the other one. Which is difficult, because you start the game in Okinawa, then go to Kamurocho, then briefly return to Okinawa, then go to Kamurocho for the last time. And that's the entirety of the narrative, more or less. So you don't have a lot of time frames to deal with that. So they put themselves in a weird corner where they made quests like Murder at Cafe Alps and so on, where you can only do stuff by being in a certain location at a certain time, and it so happens that the ability to be in Kamurocho with the right company at the right time doesn't come up until chapter 12, which is also when they chose to have Date's mission show up. But between those two things and a few other chapter 12 missions, you get stuck in a situation where, like, the narrative is like, oh my god, he's gonna kill Dojima, we have to get to the hospital as fast as possible. Like, it was literally like, are you sure you want to go deal with a guy who attacked your orphanage? Because you deal with that guy, you might not be there in time to save Dojima. But Daigo Dojima. But then you get here and they're like, it doesn't matter, whatever, fuck it. Like, they completely renege on the idea of there being any urgency, because several new storylines all pop up, where even if you do them post-credits, they all canonically happen during chapter 12. And it's like, chapter 12? You mean the part that starts with me going, I gotta get to the hospital before they murder Dojima, and ends with me being stabbed? And like a time jump happens? When the fuck did that happen? How is any of this possible? And then you have weird stuff like Murder at Cafe Alps, which is a quest that becomes available in chapter 9, but all they do is they explain to you how to start the quest. And they explain to you, here's how you look at your journal full of all this stuff about Murder at Cafe Alps. This is going to be a whole crazy quest. Get ready. And then the moment you finish the tutorial, it completely fucking dries up. And you can't do anything. And you have to look up online and find out, oh yeah, you can't do like the first thing in this quest until chapter 12, basically when the game's over. So it's functionally another question you can only do in the part of the game where, you know, you're supposed to be in a big urgent state and there's no time in the narrative for side quests really, so it's really weird to do them then. But also, it's really incredibly awkward and clunky to introduce a giant mystery plot thing, and then immediately make it impossible to continue that quest, because the conditions aren't that you need in order to continue after the introduction of it. It won't even exist until chapter 12, so it's like, why even introduce it at all? Like, it feels like Murder at Cafe Alps should have just, and really most of the chapter 12 stuff, basically should have just been premium adventure missions that you just do as bonus content once you've beat the entire game, because there's no part that they fit in. And like, there's a lot of hand-wavy stuff with side quests where you just kind of accept that, like, it's a weird nether space. Kiryu somehow gets 12,000 things done every night, somehow, and it just kind of somehow fits with the canonical story that seems to be kind of urgent and so on. But why introduce murder at Cafe Alps in Chapter 9 if you can't even do it until Chapter 12? You're just making sure that in a mystery story, your player's gonna forget what was happening, when the whole point, like, remembering the context of the case is kind of important to that kind of mission. So it's just like a huge misstep, as far as I can tell. It's up there with the weirdness of how they introduce the haunted coin locker as like one of the first quests in the game, and you can't do it until like chapter like 10. And then you do all of the other haunted things around Ryukyu one by one, while number 1 on the list is still sitting there incomplete, because you can't actually do it until chapter 10, even though it's introduced at the beginning of the game. And it's all because you can't be in Okinawa at night. It's impossible. So, in part, I think something went wrong in the development of this game. I think they planned a feature where you could change what time of day it was, via like an NPC or like a safe house or something, and therefore you would then be able to switch between day and night to do those kinds of quests. But then they took that away potentially because it broke the narrative of the main game by having this implied time passing all the time. And so they took away the idea of constantly changing what time of day it is, because there actually wasn't room in the narrative for you to freely be just passing days and weeks at a time and then just picking up the narrative whenever you felt like it. So those quests that were built around the day-night cycle that you could control suddenly became hilariously obtuse in a way that was like completely, like, no one would intentionally make them that way. It had to be some kind of weird mistake and side product of just, you know, making a giant game and then having to make changes and so on. And one of the biggest examples of that's probably the fact that even though the narrative is supposed to be so built around a very concise period of time, every single time you ever have to go to the Millennium Tower, they're like, well, let's wait until it's nighttime. Which means canonically, when you're doing that, an entire day is passing over and over again every time you go to the Millennium Tower, because they didn't make a daytime version of the Millennium Tower. The Millennium Tower only has a nighttime skyline and is only visible and rendered to be seen at nighttime. So every time a side story decides to do anything on the Millennium Tower, which happened like 5 times in this game, the game had to make up an excuse for why we're waiting until nighttime for whatever reason, even though that breaks the flow of the rest of the narrative and the context in which this is supposed to be happening. There's some weird stuff going on with the narrative, with the sub-stories in this game. I think it's unique in that way. I don't think the other games I've played so far had these kinds of very strange issues with how their sub-stories logic works. But maybe they did. Maybe they did before they were Kiwami games, because this is the oldest game I played in this franchise technically, because I played full remakes of the first 2 games, whereas this is just an updated copy of the 3rd one. So maybe the first 2 were also weird and fucky with their side quests, but it's curious to see. And I kind of have fun trying to break down like what the hell's going on with like behind the scenes, like why this would come out this way. Oh, I had a feeling we'd meet again. What do you mean by that? Seems like you always show up whenever I'm struggling with something. I could always just leave. Yeah. No. Your advice really helps. And you're the only one I can talk to about these things. Well, what is it this time? Well, my senpai from college just quit his job, and he's talking about starting up his own business. He asked me if I want to be his partner in this thing. So I've got this dilemma over whether I should keep my job at the company or help my college senpai out with his business. What's his new business all about? Well, that's the thing. What do you mean? Can't you say? It's an IT company. IT? What does it have to do with architecture? That's exactly right. Thing is, my senpai is really confident this IT business will succeed. Then he says that he could put it on the market. We could make a huge fortune. Yeah, I've heard that one plenty of times. Don't you think it's a little late to be starting over in that field? That's what I'm afraid of. But at this rate, it'll take years for me to get any significant building jobs. And my college senpai says, even if we don't make bank, once the company goes public, millions of yen will start flooding in anyway. I have to make a decision now. What do you think I should do? Do what you want, I guess. I think you should do what you want. It's your life, after all. What kind of answer is that? Up to now, you've been telling me to do either this or that. Be an adult and take some responsibility for things you tell people. Come again? I'm saying don't give me that flimsy, ambiguous bullshit. I'll take responsibility for any flimsy answers I've given. But I'm not about to take responsibility for some flake who's willing to throw away his dreams on a whim. What? It's your fault I have to throw away my dreams in the first place. If it wasn't for your lame advice, I might not be in this mess. This guy's pretty worked up. I should probably knock a little sense into him. Kiryu! Fine. You want me to take some responsibility? This is my own special way of doing it. Get your notepad ready. Kiryu! Kiryu! Out of bounds, sir. This is not on the list of things you're supposed to... Kiryu! Kiryu, why? This is out of character, basically. What the fuck? Damn, that hurts. Why'd you gotta hit me? Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Stings, doesn't it? A good punch can do that to anybody. Yeah, no shit. So what's your point? Physical wounds will heal with time, but sometimes the emotional ones stay with you forever. Huh? You're saying I have some kind of emotional wounds? Yeah. The way I see it, you're just making excuses. You think that throwing your dreams away will help get rid of your problems, right? Well, running away might bring temporary relief, but once you throw away your dreams, you can never get them back. Never? Like, never ever? Even if you make it big in the IT venture, taking back your dream of designing buildings would be a major struggle at that point. And I don't think some flake who can't even host his clients right could handle that kind of struggle. It all makes sense now. All this time, I've been looking for excuses to run away from my problems. That's why I'm in this mess. Well, I'm glad to hear you figured that out before it was too late. It's kind of like I've been in a drunken stupor all this time. Well, if it takes a few punches to sober you up, then I'm happy to oblige. Thank you so much. I want you to have this as a token of my gratitude. I'm being thanked for punching him. I'm not going to quit the company. Instead, I'm going to work my knuckles to the bone, if need be, in order to reach those dreams. So long, buddy, and thanks. When I heard that an old college friend was going to come in... That's the end of that. When I heard that an old college friend was going to come in and sweep him off his feet with his hot new business that'll totally fix your life, I was like, a Gretzko? Is that you? Is this a Gretzko? What was she? Was she a tiger or a mountain lion or something? I think it was a cat character, but I forget. That show is great, by the way. Anyway, I've heard that there may be an event over here, so I'll see if I can spot it. Otherwise, we're gonna move on. Can I go down there? Nope. Are you okay? I'm a little worried at the moment, honestly. Are you okay? You can knock down everything with a ball his size. Did I do it? Yeah! Oh god. Another revelation. There's nothing quite as satisfying as getting a strike in bowling, but this guy took it a little too far. Still, it did give me an idea for a new move. I guess I should thank him. But I won't. Oh, is that my last... Wait, super finisher knockdown? Did I just get another finisher? Super finish knockdown. Select when using a super finish on a boss. Oh! Shit. Well, I finally got it. Just in time to never get a chance to use it again, apparently. That's fine. Ooh! Ah. That was the only one I was missing. I was about to be like, let's go look up where the rest of them are, since I'm about to be done with this game, and I'd like to see all the dumb cutscenes, but that was it. That was the last one. But yeah, there was a commenter a while back that pointed out that there was one at the bowling alley. And, I found the one that was on the, telephone pole. Or light pole or whatever. And that was all of them. Yeah. Because all the other ones were pointed out by text messages. I don't think the guy pole dancing was ever mentioned. I think I found that on my own. So that was the only one I was missing. I just heard the good news from my friend Bob Utsunomiya. Congratulations, Kazuma. You've completed all the revelations, and I must say, the blog you created is very entertaining. Anyway, I have a gift for you. Bob Utsunomiya is holding it onto it for you. So go find him when you want to pick it up. He's somewhere around town. Don't worry if you lose it. You can get it from him again. Bob Utsunomiya. Is that the clown? He's like, I can't memorize every name. There's so many names. I'm not gonna always know who you're talking. Oh. Question mark. That's probably it. I probably just need to go up there. Dang it, I don't get to test this ability then, because it's a boss-only finisher. I can only do it if I fight another boss fight. Maybe there'll be a boss fight at the end of Murder at Cafe Alps, my grand finale. I don't know, it just seemed like a cool, kind of a cool case, so I figured I'd make it my final thing for this playthrough. That seems a logical thing, right? There's a few other things that could have been the climactic finish too. But it's just kind of like, once I whittled the quest list down to like 3 things, I was like, I mean, obviously the murder, like the murder mystery that we've set up is a good finisher. Like that, or Date, or fighting like the final boss or something on top of that roof. Those would all be candidates for like grand finales to kind of make our epilogue feel like it ends on a something instead of just being like, whoop, out of quests. Like, I just need some life advice. Goodbye. Our name's been soiled, for crying out loud. Don't at least one of your chowderheads want to do something about it? You're pretty much the Aniki of all Aniki, so why don't you take care of it? Oh, I definitely intend to. I'm just embarrassed that one man got the best of you both. Smacking one, outrunning the other. You ought to be outright ashamed. That chump won't touch me next time. You just leave him to me. You can't be serious. Didn't the same man knock you flat on your ass, what, 2 years ago? So what? You saying you can beat him? That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the whole damn reason I came to this filthy stink town? Stink town. Hey, what's going on here? This is still going places? You again. So this is the legendary, the infamous guy who beat the first 2 Mr. Try brothers. Yeah, he sure looks the part. And who are you supposed to be? I'm the slickest and snazziest of the trio. They call me Mr. Try and Catch Me. Didn't I already do that? Just how many of you are there? Here's the deal. I run to the streets of Kamurocho and you chase after me. If you somehow manage to catch me, I'll give you the prize money. That's the operation. Didn't I already do this? To basically run away from people for a living. Got a problem with it, bud? I'm quick as greased lightning on the speedway, so don't underestimate me. Besides, catching someone's a hell of a lot harder than running away. Oh, I had to run away from the other guy. Right, I was confused about that before, because it was weird. It does sound like a challenge. Sounds like the thing I always do. Then why not give it a shot? All our pride's at stake here, so I won't hesitate to leave you sulking and stranded. It'll cost you 10,000 yen up front. Catch me and I'll pay you 10 times our ante, 100,000 yen. But hey, I get it if you're quaking in your loafers. Ain't a big deal. I have 4,300,000. Alright, I'll take you on. Good, but first, I'll take your 10 grand. I trust that won't be a problem. Not at all. I'll be seeing that money with interest soon enough. Heh, I like the confidence. Okay then, I'll be running through the streets of this here city. If you can catch me before the time runs out, that's 100 grand's all yours. Think you can run like the wind? Catch up with the mirage? Then you better move your ass, cause I'm gone. He's so full of himself. This could be a really difficult minigame though. Oh, I just have to catch him once. You fool. What? What? That was bullshit. The jump over the thing minigame didn't work. Fuck. Is he rubber banding? God damn it. The car's gone? How? The car's back. What the fuck's happening? What am I how am I supposed to do this? It's fucked. Alright. It's fine. Sorry about that. Getting all grody today. It's gonna take like 10 attempts to do this. Alright. But I can afford like 400 attempts or something? I don't know. I'm not gonna check the math. One more win for the try, guys. Aw, yeah. Don't know how a slowpoke like you got the best of my brothers. I reckon they been slacking on their training. Are you guys brothers? Lose sight of the target and it's all over, buddy. Gotta figure out which way I'm gonna go in ahead of time, you'll get left in the dust. Sure you know the drill by now, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Too much filler dialogue. I gotta try to cut corners as best I can, but only when there's not people right there. Right here. Ugh, god damn it. There's so many people, he just runs through them. The rules constantly don't apply to these characters. God, alright, there's no truck. Fuck! Yeah, it's great. You can beat me if you cheat at the game. Great, good job. He doesn't have a hitbox. He could just go right through crowds and it doesn't matter. If I enter 5 feet of the radius of a fucking person, I immediately fail. You immediately, like, eat shit. Oh god. That's it. Alright, yep. This is gonna take a lot of attempts. That's terrifying. They do the jump over the thing cutscene, and you think you can, like, plan ahead of who to run away from and who to dodge based on the cutscene of you jumping over the car. It shows like a crowd. But then the moment you finish the cutscene of jumping over the thing, a completely different crowd is there. And so, like, you could literally come out of the cutscene already hitting a lady. And you're like, fuck, well, fuck. You spawned a lady where I was. It's not fair. Haha, fuck you. Joke's on you, there wasn't a crowd there for some reason this time, so I won. Looks like I win. Yeah, you got me. You're a real speed demon, you know that? Ain't surprising you gave my brothers a run for their dough. Guess I should hand over that 100 grand. You can count it up in front of me if you like. Thanks. Mind if I ask you something? How in the hell did you end up being such a tough bastard? Just hate to lose. So I do what it takes to come out on top. Haha, I feel you, man. Despite my jawbreaker-like exterior, I got a soft, candy-like shell underneath, so I hate getting smacked around. This job's motivation, you know? You know most people don't get smacked around, right? Like, you don't have to get like a whole career about not getting hit. Yeah, and speaking of motivation, I'm gonna catch you one of these days. Better not skip leg day at the gym, you hear? Your physique better stay on point, or else we're gonna run circles around you. Now come on, boys. We got us some training to do. Training to do. Completely choked over that word somehow. Oh. Maybe this won't be the last episode. Maybe they're gonna keep stringing me along with another side story over and over again, like just right in my face. Maybe getting the last revelation caused this. Pardon me, sir. Could I ask you for a bit of your time? What's that? This may sound strange, but are you the type to keep a secret? Not all the time. Why do you ask? Never mind. Sorry I called you over. You have to say yes. Oh, it's you. I've got a job that requires your discretion. Can you promise me you won't tell anyone? Sure. I can just be lying. I promise. I'll trust you with this favor then. What kind of favor? You've heard of the famous actress Michiko Takahashi, yes? She's won awards overseas as the best leading female, and it's really put Japan on the map in cinema. No. What about her? Well, it's just that Miss Takahashi craves a vibrant nightlife, so much so that she's known as the Kamurocho Queen. She goes out of town every night here for drinks, and recently she's been very well acquainted with the top host of this host club. Today she wants to have drinks with him at her place, which is all well and good, but with their recent fame, candid photos could be damaging. If they can make it to their taxi on Park Boulevard without getting photographed, everything should be fine. Alright. I'll usher them to the taxi. Thank you, sir. The paparazzi have been watching her every move lately, trying to snap photos that could harm her career. In fact, there's some damn paparazzi right over there. Just taking a picture of me for some reason. What I'd like you to do is to chase away any paparazzi who might snap a photo of Mrs. Takahashi and her host friend walking together. I'm sure they're hiding in various cracks and crevices like rodents, so do your best to hunt them down and chase them away. You want me to keep those nosy photographers out of Miss Takahashi's business? That's exactly right. I'm going to bring her out now, so please do your best. So you're the stud who's been hired to keep the paparazzi off my back. I hope you're as strong as you look. Keep us safe from those vultures, usher boy. Makiko-chan here means the world to me. We'll reward you handsomely if this goes well. Please be patient with them. I'll go out first and make taxi preparations. Do whatever you can to keep those animals from snapping a picture of me. Sheesh. Guess I'll chase the guy out first. What if you just wear a bag over your head or something? Hey, you're not taking that picture. Oh, well, it's just things could get ugly if I find you snapping photos of her. How about you get lost? Okay, I'm really sorry about this. That's all it takes. That wasn't so bad. Ha! Nice going, usher boy. Keep that up and until we get to the taxi, darling. There's lots of paparazzi out here that we need to chase off. Isn't the taxi right here? Oh, are we just going up here? They must be turning right, because that's where the taxi is. Hey, you're not bringing in any profit. Yeah, like you're gonna stop me? Screw off, Pops. I can't have you snapping photos around here. Do me a favor and beat it. You're gonna pay for this. Hello. Sorry, no photos, alright? I'm a journalist, tough guy. Haven't you ever heard of freedom of the press? Look, are you gonna get lost or do I have to get unpleasant? Fine, dickhead. He's running into a dead end, isn't he just gonna come back? Sorry, no pictures. Damn it. I was on a 3-day stakeout for this too. Then come back tomorrow and snap away. You're done for the day. 3 days stakeout? What the fuck? How did you know their plans that far in advance? That's fucking eerie. Anyone else? This isn't the way of the taxi. I don't see any more. What? No, somebody get my manager. How did he get so close? Well, Mr. Takahashi and the host made to their taxi. Sorry I couldn't do better. It's alright. My office will just have to sort it out with the paparazzi, most likely buying up their pictures. But between you and me, maybe this will teach her a lesson. A big star like her has to be more careful. Now then, as promised, here's a token of our gratitude. This will teach her a lesson about the constant infringement of her privacy other people inflict on her. Better teach her a lesson about that. Keep your lips sealed about Miss Takahashi and her new host friend, alright? I have to be on my way now. I did not see that guy at all. Shit. Oh well. The end. And no hint of new quest. So there should be 3 quests left. Yes. One I'm not doing. I'm not doing the host club stuff. So the other ones are... Yeah, I need to go to Okinawa. And then come back to do Murder at Cafe Alps. That should be exciting. Did I miss it? Ryukyu Shoki. That's the place. Oop, he'll never see me. I haven't changed outfits when I come here. It'll be the place where the HLA was. Are those shogi boards? I thought those were Go boards. Maybe they also play shogi on those. I've always been a little surprised because it's just such a heavy, dramatic board to play things on. Kiryu-san, you've been invaluable in helping us capture all the hitmen in downtown Ryukyu. It's no exaggeration to say we can't have done it without you. But it's gotten a bit crowded in here, huh? Guess we'll have to look for a new place. I'd go with a night drop at 2C. Night drop at 2C, huh? Alrighty. Huh? Hey, check. Check. Hey. All you did was move exactly like Ikami told you to. If you bring out the Silver General from your captured pieces, then it's checkmate. How can a blind man be so good at this? I did it. I won. You didn't win on your own. So these are all the, yeah. These are the people that I recruited to the HLA around here. I don't remember what's going on with the sub-story. Some boy is buying up these bottles every day. Is it Ryukyu Shogi? I'm not going to play shogi. I do not have time to learn how to play shogi right now. there's no one here. It's just the HLA. Shiny! Just sitting here. So we're definitely in the looking stuff up stage at this point. Because, like, how do you proceed? I'm not even certain, but I get the feeling that I have to be here during the day or something, or maybe with Haruka or something, because this is about the bottle I found on the beach earlier in the game. That sounded kind of like it was a suicide or something, if I remember correctly. But as far as looking stuff up goes, I have to look up how to change time of day. It sounds like you talk to Saki at the orphanage. You can also do it apparently at a New Serena by talking to the mama. Those are your two ways apparently of changing what time of day it is. But also there was a question mark on the beach earlier when I first got back to Okinawa and it never came back. So I'm confused for a few different reasons. Okay. He's just back. Just no context. He's just here. He's fine. Oh, Uncle Kiryu. You look kind of tired. Maybe you should lie down until tomorrow morning. Does sound nice. Okay, I think I will. Thanks for looking out for me, Saki. Things have gotten convoluted. Is there somebody on the beach now? Will they show up once I walk out here? Will it, like, load them? Do I need to have Haruka with me? So it's not there with her. I'm not sure what happened. At some point I came into this area and there's a question mark on the beach and I think it vanished forever. Okay, I'm basically just gonna give this another try during the daytime, and if not, I'm just gonna abandon this entire storyline. Oh yeah, there's a cutscene. Probably shouldn't make a move here. A kid this young at a shogi hall? This has got to be our boy. Are you Akihiko? Huh? Oh, yeah, that's me. Who are you, mister? I'm Kiryu. I run the Morning Glory Orphanage. Listen, can I ask you something? Have you ever seen a bottle like this before? Oh, yeah. It looks like the one I bought. Why are you so interested in it, mister? Would you happen to know anything about this letter, then? Yasukun? Wedding? Whoa, wait. I think this is... Sorry, mister. We'll play around some other time. There's someone I gotta find. Kiryu-san, right? Come on, follow me. Hey, hold on. This way. Hurry. Hey, slow down. Is he headed for the station? Kiryu-san, over here. Let's take the monorail over to the beach. You got it. Hey, we're right in front of Morning Glory. Come on, this way. Ma'am, that's littering. You just tossed a bottle into the ocean. Can that be the person he's here for? Mom! Akihiko, sweetheart, what are you doing here? This man says he found a letter in a bottle and he thinks it's the one you tossed in the ocean a long time ago. Oh, is that so? Yeah, here it is. I found it washed up on the shore near my place. Oh my goodness, this is from all the way back then. When I read it, I figured it might be a suicide note. I'm glad to see you're alive and well, though. It was a suicide note, yes. One I wrote 10 years ago. I had planned to throw myself into the ocean along with the letter and the bottle. But before I could take the jump, I felt Akihiko kick inside me. Oh, you were gonna commit suicide while pregnant. It was like Yasuaki was shouting at me from beyond the grave. Live, damn it. Wow. Ever since that moment, every year on Akihiko's birthday, I come to this cliff and send Yasukun another letter. So that's why he bought this particular bottle. Uh-huh. It was for my mom. It all makes sense now. We were pretty shocked when we read the letter. Thought we might have to plan a rescue. I'm sorry about that. You don't have to worry about that. I have my son now, and he's my world. Good to hear. Isn't that right, Akihiko? Yeah. I'll watch out for you too, Mom. Take care of your mother, Akihiko. Don't worry, I will. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. Alright then, I'll stop bothering you and head out on my way. Wait, here. Will you take some of these with you? They were Yasukun's favorite. I don't think you came here today by chance. Sata Andagai. The kids at Morning Glory will love these, thanks. Take care. Sata Andagai. Andagi. What is that? A donut-like snack is famous in Okinawa. Yeah, it looks like a donut hole. This thing looks like a rocket ship. Or like a deodorant stick. Alright. We did it. We cracked the code. Go to Okinawa, wear your t-shirt, go alone, arrive during the day, do those day-night cycle switcheroonies and shit. There we go. So now I think we're ready for our final story. Murder at Caliphates. The lead detective on the case might know a lot about what happened. So I have to go through the notebook. Don't see anything going on around here. Time to go back to Kamurocho. Which is like 10 grand? Like, it's not cheap to go on these trips. Not cheap by the game standards, but I guess I do have like 4 million now. But yeah. I would balk a bit at the idea of constantly going back and forth for this price. Let's see. So my understanding is the reason we couldn't finish the story earlier was because it needs to be nighttime. And when we first got introduced to the Cafe Alp situation, it was during the day. Rikia. This is sad. This is depressing. He's here as a ghost. I figure I should check if like quests pop up when I come out here with him during the day. Nope.
Kiryu-san.
Nope. Nothing popped up on the map. Go on, get. Where is it? Is he? There we go. No, damn it. Dense ass inventory. Okay. Suspect Akechi. I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna cheat because I don't actually know what the fuck to do. They dumped this quest on you many hours ago when you can't do it, and now you have to try to do it having no fucking clue what's going on in the quest anymore. But anyway, someone got murdered in the back behind a restaurant, and apparently they may have been cheating. And that might be the motivation for the murder. But like, how you do this quest and where you go to do it and how you proceed is completely outside of the normal gameplay loop of the game, and I have no idea what to do to proceed. Let's see. The only lead you... Let's see. The only lead you can get from this is that Maeda, the detective in charge, goes to bars at night. Which means you can't find him until chapter 12. Next time you're in Kamurocho at night. Alright. I need to go to bars. Then hopefully we can pick up the thread and we can continue this quest within the logic of itself and so on as we go. Wait, did I fuck up? I think I fucked up. I think this isn't nighttime. I think this is dusk, which is a separate state. Evening. Ah, damn it. So there's at least 3 different times in Kamurocho: day, dusk, and evening. Things can get really complicated really quickly there. Alright, here we are. We've made our way into the Champion District because that's where all the bars are. Logical next choice. Alright. Unhelpful. Shellac is a bust. Because there's nobody there. Earth Angel. No unique dialogue. And there seems to be no one here. Maybe you want to clean those tables, bartender? There's just a bunch of abandoned glasses lying around, but no one's in the bar. I suppose there's Bantam, where the shooting happened, in 1, where we met Haruka. It was a mistake to go to the Champion District, because ain't shit happening in the bars. I ran passages netted. Yep. Detective Maeda of the Kamurocho police. What a surprise. If it isn't the fourth chairman of the Tojo clan. You know who I am. Hey, you're famous in this town. So what does the fourth chairman want with me, anyway? I want to ask you about the Cafe Alps murder from 6 years ago. Oh, that shitstorm. Yeah, that was my case. Why'd you want to reopen that can of worms now? Trying to find out whether Yuichi Akechi really committed that murder or not. What? Are you saying you think he was falsely charged? Not a chance in hell. No, why not? We aren't stupid, you know. The police don't arrest people without proof. We had plenty of evidence saying Akechi was the murderer. What kind of evidence? We had alibis, witness statements, fingerprints, and a motive. That did it. You got all that evidence. Could you tell me a little bit more about it? Sure, I guess. Well, just don't stand there. Have a seat. Let's see what to ask. Tell me about the alibis. As part of our initial investigation, we interviewed everyone who may have been involved in the crime. In the end, the only person without one was Akechi. Nobody else could have murdered Oda. Guess we've got two choices. Either we find Yuichi an alibi or find a flaw in one of the others. Or somebody else they don't know about could have done the murder. That's a third choice. Let's see what to ask. Tell me about the witness statements. Somebody witnessed Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene just after the crime. I heard about that. The waiter. Masaru Konoshita? He gave a statement saying he saw Akechi. If it was me, I'd probably think Yuichi did it too. I wonder how I can refute Kinoshita's statement. Let's see what to ask. Tell me more about the motive. Yuichi Akechi had plenty of motive to kill the victim Oda. You mean because Oda was sleeping with Yuichi's girlfriend, Sawako Osawi? Bingo. And we didn't find anyone else who might have had a reason to kill Oda. So they didn't find anyone else, huh? What if someone else did have a reason to kill Oda? Let's see what to ask. Tell me more about the fingerprints. A deciding factor in Akechi's arrest was his fingerprints. We took and compared fingerprints from each employee with those found on the murder weapon. The only ones that matched were Akechi's. We concluded that the other prints came from cafe customers, and so were unrelated. That sounds like pretty conclusive evidence. Was Akechi really the only person involved who had fingerprints on the murder weapon? They could have intentionally not left fingerprints, gloves or something. I'm assuming the murder weapon was a normal kitchen knife that was just around. So that's potentially an explanation for why their prints were on it. It's still like, it's really presumptive though of Kiryu just to like wander in, hear about this case, and then be like, you know what, I will prove the police wrong on this one. And it's like, you know, with my no resources and no experience. So there we go, solid evidence. But if you think we made a mistake, I'm sure I'd sure like to hear it. Not enough to go on right now. Guess I'd better take a closer look into everything that was going on at the time. Do you know what the Cafe Alps staff from back then are doing nowadays? Sure. I can tell you that much, but I doubt you'll get anything new from them. This guy has an incredible memory. He 100% knows every detail of the case still off the top of his head, just on a whim, being randomly interrupted at a bar, and also knows where everyone currently is. He wrote the whereabouts of the people related to the case in a notebook. Guess my next step is to go visit the people involved. The florist might know something too. I should go talk to him. So now I need to get testimony from every single one of those characters to see if there's weird contradictions. And I can also go check it out on the florist, which will be at Purgatory. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, the logic of this quest is that you couldn't continue it because you had to talk to that guy. And you couldn't talk to that guy until you can get to a bar at nighttime. But because the quest is introduced so late into the game, you can't actually get to Kamurocho's nighttime phase until chapter 12, the final chapter of the game. It's just all the complications of how the layered logic systems all kind of work together eventually. And come together to make things weird and complicated. This quest is so, like, actively interfered with by the game's day-night cycle being constricted by the narrative that they really might as well have just tied the entire thing to, they might as well have just made it so that you only actually can do this quest in the premium adventure, because it doesn't fit anywhere. Oh, Purgatory. Didn't really come up much. Pretty much just came here to punch Majima for a bit. Kind of just a little token reminder, hey, Purgatory and Majima and the Florist all still exist. Anyway, bye! Maybe you'll see them again next game. I should ask the Florist about the Alps murder.
You.
Hey, Kiryu. I hear you're looking into the Cafe Alps murder. Huh? How'd you hear about that? Don't underestimate my information network. I know everything that goes on in this town. I guess you do. So do you know anything about the murder? I have the police reports in my database. What do you want to know? Tell me about the murder weapon. The same type of ashtray was found all over the cafe, but there was one significant difference between those and the murder weapon. Oh yeah? What was that? The weaponized ashtray had a chipped edge. Chipped. If I would use a stronger word at that point than chipped. Do you know what happened? The day of the murder, a customer knocked the ashtray off the table into the floor, chipping it. Akechi noticed it when he was cleaning up at closing time and decided to bring it out of the dumpster to throw it away. I'm so sorry, I can't stop yawning. That's why I keep pausing. It's the middle of the day, I don't know what's happening. That's when he passed by the locker room and saw his girlfriend cheating. There's no doubt Akechi touched the murder weapon that day. Nope. Normally the ashtray would have been washed, but with all the fingerprints would have disappeared. But Akechi noticed that this particular ashtray had been chipped, so instead of washing it, he decided to throw it out. And by the twist of fate, everyone who touched it that day still had their prints all over it. So all the fingerprints on the murder weapon were made the day of the murder, huh? The day of the murder. Stop! God damn it, I'm trying to get work done. Stop fucking yawning. Doesn't make sense that it's happening. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. This is bullshit. I have the police reports in my database. What do you want to know? Tell me about the fingerprints on the ashtray. These are all the prints taken from the ashtray. The murderer is on this page unless they had a glove, and that's about it. Is it the same print 3 times? Wouldn't his multiple prints be from different fingers or something? The prints outlined in red match Akechi's. This is apparently the evidence that led directly to his arrest. What about the other fingerprints? Well, one thing's for sure. None of them match the prints of any of the other employees at Cafe Alps at the time. They're thought to be from customers who visited the cafe that day, probably 2 or 3 people. But one of these sets of prints might be from the real murderer. It's certainly possible. So the real murderous prince could be on the ashtray, huh? You should be able to get more information from the people related to the case. If you haven't talked to all of them yet, you'd better do that. Thanks. You've been a big help. I owe you one. Okay, so now everything just opens up. So now I can track down where all of these people are, because their current whereabouts have apparently been written down. Essentially activating the quest. Like, you get the reporter tip, but it's the police officer conversation that actually activates the quest so you can play it. It's very strange that the game made it, that the quest made it into a, can I examine? It's very strange to, oh, it's probably the save spot? I didn't even see that. It's just strange to me that this quest made it into this game in this state. When it's all broken up and messy. And then they remade the game. Or remastered it. Where they added some quests and removed some and so on. And retranslated it, I think. And just like a lot of work to it. But they just left this one as it is. Hello. Welcome, sir. To X-Tiger, the House of Extras. House of Extras? What's that? A location wherein someone from your world may exist in this one. So what exactly can I do here? I can offer you special game modes you'll only find here. There's as follows. Multiplayer, as I believe what those features are. It's neat that they exist.